There was a student, a black student, who goes to these protests, who went and used a computer in a library. Okay? She created a fictitious, or she made up a Twitter account, registered a new account, used a bogus email, whatever email she created real quickly, and she made threats against the protest. They found it was her through surveillance films and tracking the IP address of the account. She is now being charged by the state of New Jersey. Okay? Okay. DJ Academic says, see, this is why I don't support movements. This is why I don't get involved, and da-da-da-da-da. Here's the thing, guys. This is my point. When you're not a journalist, or when you don't take time to do research, you don't understand what's going on. I'm not saying this girl is justified in what she's doing, right? I would never say it's justification for threatening anyone, okay? Never justification for falsifying, people pulling damn fire alarms in hospitals, people calling up schools with fake bomb threats, people with fake bomb hoaxes, clock hoax, bomb hoax, whatever, right? Never an excuse for that. But this is the problem, guys. I happen to know, based on research, based on time I've spent, that you can have a protest for 2 weeks. Or like Freddie Gray. The Freddie Gray turned into a riot, right? Everybody's going to say yes, right? Do you know those people protested for damn near 10 days before they broke a fucking window? No one covered it until they start breaking stuff. You don't think people who protest know that, and if they don't act up, no one will cover them. See, because our media doesn't cover problems, y'all. They cover sensationalism. That's the only reason why the cameras show up. If you and I tomorrow, we started a rally, we went and stood outside of City Hall, here in Maryland, whatever, and we protested something, and we got 100 people to do it, they wouldn't show up. You know how much it would take to get people to show up and give a damn what we were protesting? You know how hard it is to get media coverage? Now, I'm not saying the girl was right. I said she's wrong. But DJ academics and a lot of other people who don't really do research don't know that people protested Freddie Gray death, murder, for a week before there was any outrage or any destruction of property. People don't know in Ferguson that for weeks there was no problems. It took weeks for problems to break out. And then when the problems break out, we get a bunch of people all of a sudden want to be journalists. All of a sudden want to pick up a CNN article and read from that shit and start talking about what people are doing. No, you need to know in Baltimore, there has been problems with the police for the last 10 years. In Ferguson, there's been problems with the police and the public for 10 years. You just don't know about it. Why? Because they don't cover it. But what you get is the explosion. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? Your next door neighbor, you don't know what happens till the wife runs out running from his ass one day. You don't know what happened before. All you see is her running down the street with a Flintstone lump on her eye. And you go, that son of a bitch, he put his hands on her. How dare he? You know nothing about what went on. That's what we do in America, for the most part. I'm tired of it. Now, I can't change what most people do. I can't make a DJ Academics pick up a book and say, look, or make a decision, say, you know what, if you're not going to do research, if you're not going to become knowledgeable in the stories you cover, if you're not going to do background, if you're not going to pick up the phone like I did, I picked up the phone and I called. Yes, my name is Tim Black. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Mark Spivey. I'm the Director of Communications.
Work for a media company. We're running a story on the Keene student.
Hey, yeah, I can explain. We generally don't comment on specific forms of evidence in criminal cases prior to the cases going to trial, and that's in order to preserve the integrity of the investigations.
Understood. If you didn't tell them this, where'd they get the information? Is there a document filed, or is there casework, or what is there?
Well, there was a criminal charge filed against the defendant, and we put out a press release on it. If you'd like, I'd be happy to issue you a copy of our press release.
That would be fantastic. I got a copy of the press release, so I would know what the charges were. If you're not going to do any journalistic work, well, hell, maybe you should renounce your channel. Maybe you should go back to playing music. Maybe you should just start doing more jokes. If you're an entertainer, just be an entertainer. Put some mixes out. Stop being a journalist. Stop being a reporter. Stop pretending. It started with these fuckheads doing gaming channels, right? Doing gaming channels, playing video games, and then talking over a news article. And now everybody wants to do it. Have you ever had a press pass? I have. Have you ever written for a newspaper? I have. Do you fact check? Do you know the who, what, when, why, how, where? No, they know none of it. So they mislead people all the time. You don't know that inside that house, she had a knife to that man's throat. He knocked the knife out of her hand and sucker punched her, and she ran down the block. That's the real story. But you, Johnny come latelys, just cover the woman running down the block.